Good morning.
Morning. How you doing, Sarah?
Good, how are you?
Good. Good painting last week. Nice work.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, that was a kind of a tough one even
Mm-hmm.
because of getting the background and everything uh figured out and I think you did really well. I
Oh,
mean, even with the fence, I'm glad you went back in and toned it down.
yeah, it made a difference. Yeah.
Yeah, it puts the focus back on the beast.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Did great.
Yeah,
So
thank you. I liked your mountains in the back of yours. That was nice.
I was just playing around. Just needed a little bit more back there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I couldn't be like everybody else. You know me.
That's true.
You always got to be a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. And figure that out. Okay. Yeah, I just run a couple minutes late again today. Nothing new. How that looks. Get a light right when we get going. All right. We got a few other people showing up, but right now it's just you and me. Guess no one else wanted to paint this one, I guess.
Mm.
Nothing. Well,
It looked like a fun one.
I think so. I always liked the idea of painting other artists working and stuff as a model.
Mm-hmm.
You see it as throughout the history, kind of a little tradition of artists painting each other,
Mm-hmm.
and it just is kind of fun. Uh, this one was from our trip in Italy, or wait, France. Our first trip in France with the group, and this is lady. This is Marcia. She was one of our students, and she finished her painting pretty early and was able to sit back and take a look, feel like she was really, feeling the impressionist life there, and I got a kick out of it when I walked by, seeing how she was sketching and, had her artwork up there for other people to see if she can get some sales by, people walking by. Because there were a lot of it was a nice little town. It's like one of the premier medieval towns in France.
Oh, cool.
And so, yeah, we were right in the center of this town, and this round and it was like just as instead of being a square, it was a circle. All the buildings were going around us, so it was really nice. And this was when it was one of the more scenic views,
That's fun.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, and she had a good job. Of course, she picked out her spot first. That that is the way Marsha worked. She
Mm-hmm.
likes to get a good spot. Uh, So let me pull it up and we'll go through it. There'll be other people, and this is also taped. So we will get going.
Totally.
Yeah, you see, you got a lot of nice color in there. It has to do with the other paintings a little bit because of the subtleties of color. That warmth. I mean, this gravel they had down, this really pea gravel almost. It wasn't pea gravel, but it was chalky kind of limestone.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was. We were in shade of a big old giant sycamore trees. There's a bunch of trees on this little square, this circle too. So it was really pretty. And so we were under shade and be able to paint. I think this is yeah, I can't remember it. I don't want to say it or say it wrong. But yeah, the town. I'll look it up. Uh, but yeah, this is this alley she's painting back here was really interesting. It took us all the way back. There was another arch back in there to go out. And so this was a little alleyway, and there were some people here eating because this place here was a restaurant.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, and then people who lived in these buildings, of course, but they were always hanging out, looking out, and everything else. Let's see. This guy here, I'm not sure if he's needed or not in the painting. You know, that's the thing is, uh, we could get rid of him. Doesn't really do anything for you.
Mhm.
I probably should have erased him out, but hey, but we'll see. We'll get something. We need something to, cross here though, besides this. So, it could be a shadow or something like that, keeps this line here from being, um,
Mm.
controlling this line a little bit going through the middle of the painting. So we stay inside it. It might be as easy as just taking a tree shadow and adding it to this one here a little bit to, just to keep this going around and keep you from just going off the painting a little bit. It's probably the same on the other side a little bit, something to break up that little spot there, just the way this thing does. That's just little things to look at. Uh, People are easy. She's the toughest thing to paint, of course. We got, she's kind of sitting there cross-legged in this chair, probably uncomfortable, but looking very comfortable. The thing is, she's pretty simple. Gray pants, and she has her schmuck on, and her shirt just has a little color in it though. So that will be fun to paint. And we don't have much. Got nothing more than a chin of hers and a little bit of hair. The hat does everything, that little flip in the hat, and that's about it.
It almost looks monochrome.
It is almost the whole thing. There's not a ton of color in this whole thing. And that's just sort of almost what we have been painting. I mean, we've been, controlling the light a lot. I can't remember what was the first painting we did. That was a lot of color, wasn't it? All right. Well, the second painting, at least the Highland and stuff, we really, was very grayed out and stuff. So anyway, well, we'll get to that. Let's see value wise. There we go. Okay, now come up. There it goes. Value wise, yeah. Not a whole lot of difference, It is, your highlights are probably around a 3, maybe, maybe a 2 where you got some bright light, little light showing through on the dry gravel there. That's about it. The straight is pretty bright, which pops everybody out. That will be good because it's kind of like the way we paint. You got to have dark to light. Works really well for oil paints, and this is pretty much it. I might even take and paint that box in at the end a little bit. Maybe take the paint out. It's a little bit easier to, paint behind it and not worry about these little spots. But sometimes I say that, but now I'm thinking about it, I go, sometimes the beauty of things is the marks you make in paint, making this little triangle, creating this little triangle with one stroke sometimes, and then, cleaning it up with a stroke on each side. Sometimes that looks so cool, and figuring it all out with just a simple brush stroke. And then if we have to, you can always come back in and, clean it up and put some things in. Sometimes it's even, maybe even a mix of that plus, palette knife for a couple lines here. Let's try that. And we can always come back and clean it up. There's always so many little ways to clean this up. If that doesn't work, if you can't control it, sometimes painting the negative works out so much better.
Yeah.
You're just taking the route less traveled.
I
Anyway.
still think it needs a dog.
Girl, I was thinking about throwing one in because you've got a whole spot here.
Yeah.
I'll drop one in because we were talking about getting rid of this.
Yeah, right.
And there was a guy who lived in this building here who owned the restaurant right there. He had a white Pyrenees that he walked, and I know he walked. I have a picture of him walking across the street this way with the dog. So I will look for that and maybe drop that in. So guys, think about that. Save this little area here because we'll replace this with that. That would look so much better. So I'll try to do that after the meeting, and that's a good solution. I've been doing that a lot lately too. Is dropping in other things into my paintings and stuff. Into the scenes, and even in looking at some of my older paintings, like going back into looking at them and going, this could use something life, so it's nice to be able to just drop in something sometimes and bring it back to life. Makes a whole different painting out of it. Doesn't mean it's that much better, but it does sometimes help. So yeah, the gray wise, I'm very monotone. The darks are all kind of right here and kind of back in here. We're going to try and keep these guys a little, pushed back a little bit less, not too dark, because we don't want them to, after you see one arch, you've seen them all. And so to do a lot of work back there, I would keep them subtle, a little more subtle, even make more mysterious than, contrasty like they are, because I think that's going to just come forward. So yeah, the arches are going to be probably one of the tougher things to do, along with her. But I do like the design, how it she's looking out into this area here, and that, like you said, a guy right here, either, walking across, you never know. We was, those French guys, they tell you. But yeah, this is Marcia there painting. So she had a good time. That was a beautiful day too. For Chus, France. So it was pretty nice. We've gone back there a few times. So
South of France, north, middle?
We were, southern France.
Southern?
Yeah, that's where we were. And we were having our workshop there. It was beautiful. Anyway, any questions on these? All right, well, let's get mixing colors. I took up all.
Interested to see how you do all of those beiges. I don't think beige should be a color, but the ground, that flat, that befuddles me all the time. That kind of flat to make it more alive. I'm going to be interested to see how you do it.
We're going to use quite a few colors.
Okay.
Variations of the same one. Definitely got to have cools. You got to have warms. You look around the edges of all the holes, light holes, the air holes coming through the tree shadow.
Mm-hmm.
They're very warm. They have a lot of warmth to them. But then the shadow, of course, has a lot of coolness to it. A little coolness. So you got cools and warms, and that's what makes it so nice. So what I'm going to do again is not worry too much about her. Going to bring her in probably at the end here a little bit, and get a lot of that shadow underneath her built in, and then bring her in, and then rework the two together a little bit, probably. The background, simple, keep it simple. Kind of, it is going to be kind of built off the same kind of colors, so we can keep them in the same space. Very, again, like beige and gray.
Yeah.
So it's telling you right now, transparent oxide and blue is
Okay.
going to be a lot of key. Maybe ochre's probably brought in. Maybe orange is brought in.
Mhm.
We'll try to keep them simple. Keep this painting simple because there's not a whole ton of color to it. And so, I like the idea of the dog a lot. So, except for everybody else is going to go, he does it again. He brings out a dog. I just, got to fall back to what
Hey,
what makes you
strength.
work, your strengths. I think I can make that work. And I'll get you guys the same shot stuff so you guys can work it out too. So let's go and mix up all those beiges. And beiges, I say it all the time too. Yeah, it's just that color we look at and we kind of realize, it's kind of an off-white, dark, kind of grayish color,
Yeah.
So we just take the base tone of that value and hit it with warm it up, cool it off. We should be pretty good about it.
Jen, I got to give you fair warning. I can only stay for about an hour. So I'm going to have to rely on the video.
All right. I will try to do the best video ever for you.
I'm just saying, don't slow down for me. Slow down for Sarah.
Oh, Sarah doesn't get anything. She just got to be here. She's great. I got some titanium white. You're going to need some good amount of titanium white on this one, probably because it is a mid-tone key kind of painting. And so that is going to facilitate a little bit more white. Cad yellow would be good to have because for the warm-ups, and the cad red probably might be really nice in there. Looking phthalo green and cad red make a fabulous beige. So does orange, but orange gets a little more on the orangey side. I mean, a little greenish side. Ochre will work out really nice. Ochre, maybe ochre would be a perfect color for, if you were just being a lazy artist and just wanted to do it, you could paint it in ochre and white, and just tone it, little tones of ochre. And we'll bring in some ochre probably too. Oxide red be great here. This light oxide red, just pulling the skin off the tops. Make sure it's all good to go. Alizarin crimson and over here, cobalt blue hue, phthalo green, blue on the blue side is going to be great. And like I said, transparent oxide, and that's going to do 3/4 of the work, I think, on this one. Big brushes, big ideas. I got some synthetics. That would be really good for a lot of tighter areas to clean up these little areas here around the thing, and painting her, of course, and helping out with some of the building stuff. But a lot of this stuff I might want to, you need texture, and so a bristle brush will work really good for getting texture, and especially down in here, this kind of stuff. Synthetic will be good for maybe parts of the light, little spots in between, the light holes. But sometimes you want the beauty of the synthetic, building color, raking color over each other. It is usually could be really nice there. I would definitely be looking when I'm looking at it and doing this is going to be greens and oranges and reds together. I think that's right. We're seeing in here, it's going, oh, that'd be so beautiful. That's going to be so beautiful. And we can make it so much better than it is. We're just taking what it is here, but I can, in my photo, not this one. We're using this one just for value, but the one I have up on my screen has so much more color in it. It's going to be so much, not so nice. But let's get going. Like I said, the first few colors are going to just be transparent oxides out. Transparent oxide and blue first. So I'm going to put out transparent oxide, which also could be burnt sienna. You know, burnt sienna is always a classic. I don't know if I need that much. And then blue. This is, I want to, what I'm looking for is this is going to end up being like a gray. And I'm looking when at a higher key color. I think it's going to be it's definitely going to be the street color probably. I just got to get it to the right, get enough blue showing through on this one. Right now it's still burnt umber, which is good. It's, I could definitely use that back there. Gosh, I'm gonna split this pile a little bit because this blue is not the strongest of colors, and that was a lot of blue to go into that transparent oxide, which transparent oxide is not a strong color. So I'm going to leave that brown there because it's kind of a burnt umber. And then I'll say this is the blue side, burnt umber side. That could be definitely inside there and some things. It might even come through on her a little bit. And then a burnt I would say burnt sienna side, but this is a transparent oxide side. So this is definitely brown. This is definitely a mixed halfway, and then one on blue side. So three colors there. But then we need that. Those are really good, but that blue in there just keeps it cool. So I would do almost the same thing now with green. And like I said, this transparent oxide showing through is going to be really gorgeous in here. Like I said, we could keep it very easy and just do these three colors and almost paint this whole thing. Except you're going to need a little bit of color probably for her. That's a lot of green. Let me start off with just a little bit of phthalo green. Bring it in. And bring it in again. Okay, not so much. Like less than a quarter of the pile, to just.
Is that your phthalo green blue?
Yeah, on the blue side. Yeah.
I finally got it.
There we go.
Oh,
little bit of really nice.
that's pretty.
That is, yeah, and kind of very olivey. The next one, I'm just going to clean my knife a little bit. Gonna add just a little bit more green. I probably don't need to do three in this one, but I wouldn't be doing much on this last one, so I'm not gonna do three. I think that's good. I'm gonna keep it really on the brown side because I think I can get. I'm just gonna leave this brown here because I'm gonna tone it down. I might put just a touch of green into it, but not much. But it's gonna be on the really brown side. And when I tone those guys down, they should all these colors when they come down to the same value. That's this whole thing about the shadow here at the bottom. Same value. We get them all at the same value here. Same values pretty much for back here, except for the building a little bit. That's gonna be really nice. Then you got the brightness coming in, fighting in. That'll be fun. So all these colors should come out of here. Just looking to see if there's anything special in here. There are going to be a couple specialty colors, but not too many, because we've got some greens and stuff. But let's just take these guys and we're gonna do two values of these values then. Keep it dark. The first value we're gonna go for probably back in here. So that'd be probably an 8. So we're just gonna add just a little color to these, little white, half and half at the most. Maybe not even that, because like I said, transparent oxide, as much as against regular colors, probably it's going to fade out pretty quickly. So half and half. This is half and half. Oh, that's a beautiful gray, though. Pretty much right there at 8.
Wow, that is gorgeous.
So I think that's might be a hair too dark, but let's go 7. Let's go 7 because I'm thinking of it back there. This is just blue and transparent oxide. And this is on the blue side. This is pushing the blue to get it to, and basically it's just a gray. So you might push it a little bit more and get a little bit more blue out of it. This is right down the middle, but on the transparent side, so it's a warm gray. That should really get into a lot of the buildings.
Yeah.
You can see it all over some of these things. It might be back in here a little bit more than that blue, since we're not too far. And then the transparent side. Definitely can use that. We just need a little bit of like we said, yellow beige is coming up here. It's a little warmth to these colors. Maybe we do have to add some yellows and pieces of these colors, but this is a great place to start. There's your green side. See, that's where phthalo just jumps through. That can definitely be in that tree. But I want to gray that out farther, and I think that would be beautiful. This one is on the transparent oxide side. I did not clean out my knife very good, so I did gray it out a little bit more than it was, which is good because it was gonna, like, there you are. That's that color I was thinking about. Yes, this tone down should get really close to what we need down in here. And of course, I did not make enough of it. I'm going to add just a little bit more white. This probably has to go a little bit lighter anyway. So, but I'm going to just get it to 7, a little bit brighter to this color. As you can see, just a hair too dark. There we go. No, it starts getting a little more neutral as more white you put in there. Definitely got our hat. And value wise, yes, this is almost perfect for a lot of the values. Now this on the red side, just a little bit too much color, right? All right, just bring a little bit of the gray for my knife, what I have left over, so it doesn't get too rich. Oh boy, that ground is right in between these two. So we're gonna have some fun. Gonna just take a little bit more of this, put it over here, just neutralize that red side. And that green is going to be another one. So we're just gonna just take it, get one more value. jumping ahead here a little bit. I got these three colors need to be almost exactly the same value. And the green and the red are too strong. So I'm going to leave a little bit of the dark, and I'm just going to come down here and make the value change. This is probably where I was going to go anyway. I mean, these guys up here were going to be for more and back there, but then we need this down in here, and this green does work in there.
Down in where, Jim?
Down here in the bottom of the painting of this area here,
Ah, okay.
that green comes through there with the red here. But this red just needs to be just a little bit. These are probably even right here. These guys are probably finishing colors. You know, there we go. And these guys together. So this is just transparent oxide and just a little bit of green. And you pretty much, that's this whole section here. I'm going to go back now and do these guys a little bit, the same values. And that's 3/4 of the painting right there, I think. And then we'll find out which one goes down and becomes a straight. So I'm going to take value-wise that one to about, we went to 7 at the beginning, and then pretty much I heighten them up to about a 4. So again, double the amount of white. To the color. So this pile, we started off with just transparent oxide and blue. And we added, took the pile and then we added about the same amount of white to it. And now we just did the same thing again. And it's starting to get in that value range. Probably, like I said, that's more of a 3 anyway. We probably could take it to a 3, but I was looking for the back area here, some of the highlights. So we might have to take these guys up a little bit higher. Okay, so I'm going to keep those guys there. And I'm going to take all the colors up basically to 3s. These, so it's not a whole lot of white. I'm just going to put out the white first on every color. These will end up being highlight colors. And then we'll do a few specialty colors over here of yellows, beiges, things like that. That starts to get into this. Yeah, this hits that building pretty nicely on mine. Probably this color though. I think just with a touch of green in it. So I'm just bringing in just a little bit of the mid-tone color. So this is almost, again, a little bit over double. I mean, white wise compared to color here. These might be too bright. No, that's just right. Too bright, just right. And then we'll look and see if we need. Thanks. Should get the street color, should get all the limestone, crushed limestone color. These guys, simply doing it, and then we'll just come up with a couple. There's your street, pretty close. Might be on the blue side and gray side. Yeah, it's gray side. cooler side. So that's working out pretty good. I mean, that's pretty simple. We only did three real colors and cut them with white. We probably could find almost everything we need in here, but we just do need a few richness things in here. Like I said, maybe a green, a real different green, but in a yellow. But it doesn't have to be too much. I'm thinking her hat.
Mm.
Maybe, we'll start with, we'll take a couple of these colors, I think our hat's right here too. But I think if I took a little piece of these colors, these three colors, again, just the midtones. I'm gonna do with green. I did green. But I'm gonna take the darker green too. I'm just gonna add a little bit of cad yellow to them. Each one, just about a little spike of cad yellow to lighten them up. Well, these guys, I just want to move over to the warmth. I don't really want them to lighten up. This guy, I wanted to lighten up because I want to get a little bit more shot at being some of the greens in the painting.
Like the highlights of the tree.
Yeah, basically highlights of the tree.
Okay.
Maybe, they can still get in a few spots. Even this one, turns a little green, but I think I can get it a little bit into that hat edges just to turn that edge of the hat. And the same here, these ochres and stuff, it's really become an ochre. Yeah, these are right on line. If I just get enough color yellow in this one. And these guys again can probably, could end up being in the ground too a little bit too. If these guys are just, just a little too pale, definitely you might want to push maybe a touch of cad orange into a piece of them, warm it up for when you get into these little areas. Sometimes just a slightly different warmth, than that you'll need. And it's just like just taking these guys, add just a touch of cad orange. So you don't push them too far. But it just gives them a nice thing. Like that, feels like that, but just a hair warmer. Especially in the greens. That almost becomes a beige. Okay, let's just maybe on the blues. Yeah. While I'm here, don't know if I'll use this color or not. Oh, we didn't do people colors. Shoot. Okay.
What you got is a chin.
Yeah. I got an arm.
What are you gonna do for the chin?
Come on. Hey, we got the box here. I think this box is really good. Box color could be really close to that. Her chin, her chin and her arm. She has that arm too.
She has an arm. Okay.
Okay. Those I usually go with alizarin and yellow or ochre. For her, it might be ochre. So we'll just go with alizarin ochre in white. This one, more ochre. Same thing though, put it on alizarin, bring in the ochre. That's way too much ochre. There we go. And that's way too much alizarin. So we're going to go half and half. We'll bring this one back a little bit. And that's just on the alizarin side. And this one just still needs to be on. She's got to have some red in it. Okay. Now we'll take these colors down again. Value-wise, pretty much all we got is an arm. Pretty much. A lot of times I don't even mix up blush colors when I have they're this so little. But we'll see. We'll get enough. it's a challenge sometimes. We're doing pretty limited color wise. We're not doing crazy. We got cool side and we got a warm side coming down. And now it's just going to be skin color. Oh, that's not right. Oh, yeah. Definitely could go. We'll look a little more alizarin in that. Ooh, alizarin strong. Let's keep it right there. And that should get us into that color. It's really a lot closer. Coolness, warmth. This one probably should be pretty good too. Well, if I would have added white to it up there, probably it's good color. And if not, we'll use it in the gravel. All right. Yeah, this one nails it.
Okay, good.
This is really close. This will work too. First one out of the gate, you never know. And then the really red side. There's, you need to add blotches. And then I'd probably do one more step, and find maybe this will even do it. That orange I added there and just white into it just to be a highlight. Spotty light. Just go up to that. I was looking at it on her arm here, this thing. It's kind of grayed out. That's why I was thinking it's cooler. So this will work, or one of these oranges ones will work too. Definitely building color here. This is pretty close to the building. Yeah. This should be a nice top. These should be nice topping colors to the hat. And this is the building back in here with the arches. This color is just a little bright, but I think on the secondary, and when we throw it over something, and have a little bit of that color there, be really nice.
Okay.
Believe me, just believe me.
I believe you, Jim.
Okay, thank you.
Now prove it.
All right. Well, okay. Color wise, I'll tell you colors we mixed again. Okay, transparent oxide, red we used up here, and we mixed in first. From these first three, we mixed in blue. This is more blue. This is even, and this is transparent oxide side. This is phthalo green in transparent oxide, and this is, more transparent oxide side, and this one was pure transparent oxide side. And we brought them down to about a 7 value. I took a piece of, I think this one, brought it over here and added yellow. Well, I took these three and brought them over here and put in yellow to them, had yellow to get them brightened up, trying to get the trees and everything. And then down here, we just lightened them up a lot more. We took the piles, we split them again. We added white to about a 4 value. I think that's close to, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then we lighten them up a little bit more to almost 3 at the bottom here for highlights. And then took a piece of these guys and just added just a little cat orange too. Just to, I'm looking at the gravel and going, I got that light coming through there. This might be too cool, but this is going to work for a lot of other places too. So just a little more warmth might be just what it calls for. Skin tone was pretty simple, just alizarin and ochre and white. This is on the red side, alizarin side. And then this is on the slightly more ochre side. And then a little bit lighter one, this, for some of the highlights. This is just a good skin tone mixed color.
Mm-hmm. Quick question, Jim.
Yeah.
Just for clarification, you're talking transparent red oxide, not the Indian red that you also use?
I didn't even use that, did I? Oh my God.
I don't see it on the
use it.
So,
Yeah.
so it's transparent red oxide, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was all, It was all this one up here, transparent. I did not
Thanks.
even use this color. Cad red will probably find its way into probably clothing spots here and there or something like that.
Mhm.
But who knows? And we still got, like you said, we can make this complicated, put a dog and person in it, or a dog. There was a Burmese mountain dog also walking around on its own. The village dogs, there was like I said, the one white one and the other one. So I'll look at both of them for us, see what fits over there. And see, it's still got to have, matched lighting. So, or if nothing else, we'll put a pooch down by her. We'll put a bunch of crows by her. Crows,
Oh.
birds,
Yeah.
those could work too.
Huh.
Lots of little goofy things here. So I'm going to tone it down with a little transparent oxide. Wow, who would think I was going to go there, right? Transparent oxide for everything, and now he's going back to it. It's kind of fun because I've never painted this one. I've had this one in my mind to paint for a while. So I thought, it's just a classic, artist painting to do.
Jim, you want to put the camera on the canvas?
No.
Come on. Thank you.
Thank you. I just kind of jumped. I forgot I didn't even set up my other cameras yet. Let me second. Dude, kind of just, I felt, a little behind on this one, probably because of, I just started a few minutes late. Put this one in here too. No. There we go. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. Transparent oxide, definitely, you can load up the bottom here of the painting with it. You can't go wrong. Even into the street, we see it in the street. This could really even help the warmth in that street. Like we were taught also, you can probably miss it, but this spot she's at is the village square, but it's really a circle in the village for the village. And they have a bunch of sycamore trees on it. They might not even be sycamore trees, but they're really beautiful, kind of spotted trees, white and things. And they play, kind of bocce ball game in the middle of it. So, and then there's just restaurants around the outsides.
They call it petanque.
Petanque. That's what it is. You're right. Congrats. Thank you. It's a lot like bocce. Yeah, we played that a little bit. We had a lot of fun. So, as you can see, I'm thinking about the painting a little bit, even when I'm doing my.
Yeah.
See, knowing that this could live. That's the thing is some of the stuff could live. Yeah, you never know. I mean, this tone.
Jim, I made it back to watch.
I cannot believe it.
I know,
Where
me
the hell you
neither.
been?
You
Out
can
with my
start,
horse.
You can start now, Ken.
I've been out horsing. I literally just got back, so I'm gonna watch and then I'll paint tomorrow.
Well, you haven't missed anything.
Well, you got all the paints mixed, so
We did. I know, but you haven't missed too much.
no.
So it's a lot. This is a very simple painting of transparent oxide mixed with blue and mixed with green. And we're toning it, so canvas with transparent oxide.
Yeah.
And down in here, I'm just gonna let it be, even when I draw it in, let it be a little mishmatchy, in here. just before you draw them in and stuff, whatever you have here, that will help finish it off when you start drawing it in. 3/4, about a little bit over halfway. I want this, the arch to kind of be here. You know, just a little bit more than that. We're painting Marcia. You were at the first one, right?
No, I
Kim?
was not, but I know where this is. This is where you're supposed to buy your studio or your shop.
Right there in that building.
In that building, yeah.
Or-
Yeah.
or
I
three-
was looking at that. I thought it was your wife for a while and when you sent it. And I thought, no, it's not. I don't know who this is.
Yeah, this is Marcia. And she came the first year,
Mhm.
and along with Anne Marie, our good friend Anne Marie here.
Yep.
So poor Anne Marie.
Is she all right?
Well, she's got only
I know, but
yeah, she's not. So far, we haven't heard anything yet.
right.
So okay, go on. I know. I just got to pay tribute to her a little bit. She's such a good lady. Okay, back in here, definitely thinking about a little perspective, going back a little. That was it. That's perspective. The whole painting. Everything else is just, arches, getting these arches in here. I'm just going to kind of draw the line where they got to be. And start to look for thickness, distance. Let's see how many I get in here. They're probably huge. These look a little big. I only got 4 in there, and I need 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I guess I'm right. I'll just leave it. They're just, they're going to come down. Yeah, I'm sorry. When you finish that's the top of the arch. When you come down and take off the rest of it, they'll start to fit. Okay. Yeah, like we said, I still got pictures of all the guys, painting and stuff, Kim. So we'll probably get you in here one of these days,
I loved that place. We didn't go there last year, but
We might end up going there this year or going to Nirac.
yeah.
Oh, Nirac was beautiful, but
Yeah, it was beautiful.
yeah, it was a good day.
Mm.
So yeah,
I painted
you were,
something this week. I'm not finished with it. That
yeah,
is from that place we went last year with all the cats. You know, all the little cat sculptures that were hiding up
yeah,
in the. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I dragged out one of those. I'm painting it.
Good for you. Good for you. Good to see you. Yeah, you're moving on. You're moving on and painting stuff you want to paint.
Oh yeah.
That's always good. Because stuff I paint is just crap. No one wants to paint this stuff. I do this.
I must have been the only person who wanted to paint the interior. I thought you were doing April Fools because I thought he doesn't normally send out the painting on a Wednesday. I wonder what this is about.
I figured you'd get it.
I have to, but
She
to be honest
likes
with
it.
you, I wouldn't have minded painting the interior. I was thinking this will be fun to see how we do all these glasses on the table. I wonder what he's going to tell us about this. Nothing. We're not doing it.
But that is a painting, a thing I photographed. That was from Toronto, trip in Toronto, and then we went to this Loam Castle or something like that. That was inside. That was just a setup, in the castle and stuff. So, and there was just, people just outside the windows. I just in the glass in that the setup and stuff. I said, "Oh, that's could be very cool." And well, wasn't. I mean, it's a lot of work. Just more work than we're gonna have time for. And I did promise people this week, so I wanted to sort of go on to that, stay in that theme for now. If we do have a still life coming up to do, so if you want to go back, if you want to go back to that, let me know. I'll make everybody cry. No one will want to paint anymore. But you guys are big girls. You guys can handle it.
A still life, huh?
Yeah. It was that one I sent out on Wednesday. That was
Facebook. Is that why I didn't get it?
Yeah. Oh, Facebook problem. I was a kid on Facebook. Basically, it was, April Fool's Day. So I was trying to scare people.
Kelly, it was a big dining room table with lots of cutlery on it, looking out through windows over a garden with curtains and, all the rest of this kind of stuff. It was
right up my alley.
lots
Yeah.
lots
of
of
stuff.
detail.
Yeah,
lots of detail.
good, just beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it would have been so much to do.
It would have been a 2-weeker.
Yeah,
Maybe.
and that's the thing is when I do a 2-weeker, I want to make sure that it's worth 2 weeks for everyone.
Else nobody will show up for the second week.
Yeah, everybody's gonna. Well, it's a waste of 2 weeks if the painting is not going to be any good. So well, it's not.
What are we going to do for 2 weeks?
Well, probably. Well, we could do sort of something like we did last time. I got a bunch of those I bought, or we can definitely do a still life, for 2 weeks. But I'm not sure, just not sure what that's going to be. I'll have to look. I got some things I could torture you guys with. That would be so much fun. So just looking at her arm, trying to get her space here. Kind of like I have to base everything off the size of the hat. And here's her hat.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at that. I was thinking, is that a boat? What the hell is that?
But
Yeah, it's a boat. Yeah, it's a boat. Yeah, that's where I draw people. They look like boats at the
it's
beginning.
the Bernese
Yeah.
Mountain Dog. Hey.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's what we're talking about putting in here. So putting in a dog or person or something here because we're going to take out some other stuff here. Don't need. I was trying to get her, I probably am kind of going about this a little wrong. Trying to, get the relaxed feel that she has. So a lot of kind of archy, things coming in here. So it feels more relaxed. So not a lot of too straight, even probably with the chair and stuff, trying to keep, it is a director's chair, so it's not like it doesn't sway like this, so it should be pretty good. I'm just trying to match up sizes here on things like here. Looking at a lot of the negative areas of space here on her. It's always a good thing to take weight off too. So when I do this here, I'll just take, just bring it in just a little bit. And that's, that's all you have to do. If you're doing these for people, sometimes we don't really want to see exactly the way we are. So doing that would probably help. And no one is going to see this photo anyway, so probably know what any of this stuff is. Unless Kim shows it to everyone. Never know. Kim, what else are you doing there in London these days?
Well, I ride a couple of times a week. I do a lot of painting and drawing.
Yeah. Are you doing it anywhere?
Yeah, I got into something called the Langham Sketch Club.
Oh,
So every Wednesday night we do life drawing, and that's good. There's
yeah.
some there's yeah, because there's some serious professional artists in there. So it's not instructional, you just go and do your thing, but just looking at how they approach it and all the rest is good. And then I'm taking portrait lessons with somebody.
Yeah.
So I'm doing portrait painting. So yeah, I do
This
that.
should be good for you. This one will be perfect.
This is going to be
Easy
good.
for you.
That's why I wanted to do it. That's why I thought, oh gosh, I hope you put the video out tomorrow. But maybe now I can kind of figure it out. I play tennis, and that's basic. And then I still do my French translation, and then I sleep, and that's about all there's time for.
Oh, good. You're a busy girl. We just
Yeah.
want to make sure you're still having fun over there.
Mm.
Because you could tell we're not having fun anywhere here anymore.
To be honest with you, Jim, it's a little hard to have fun anywhere right now.
Yeah. Okay.
But that
Everybody's on
aside,
edge. Everybody's on edge, all right?
yep, you got it.
It's really God, what the fuck happened? Man. Anyway. Just trying to get these legs in here, trying to figure those guys out. They are nothing more than going to be blocks, just looking at the shape of them. They're just rectangles, just almost rectangles, and then, getting that right thing. The cool thing is when you have this figured out, you should be pretty good to go.
Mm.
I'll see about getting her foot in here. And, I'm drawing at an angle. So, yeah, that's important. But it looks like everything's hitting in about the right spot, measurements wise. My negative areas, are feeling like they are in sort of the right shape. And that's a kind of fun thing about this one. I want it to be kind of still, fun. We don't want it too tight, because I just want a little bit of looseness to it too. So it just, it's, because no one's going to buy this, but would even be considering this would want it to be too realistic. So this is going to be very impressionistic. So even if I'm off on this stuff, like I said, is fine. Just remember to, even though these guys are probably a little straighter than they are, we're still going to just have a little bit of play in them. Get the right angles here. These guys are pretty easy right there. Perspective, this one, and then one but thing here. All right. Well, that's all I have to do there. And then there's stuff here.
Yeah, are you painting that?
Yeah, that I don't know. If it's going to be no more than probably 3 or 4 strokes of just enough to say something's there, but not really paint anything. Her backpack too. I like stuff on the ground, and this might be really kind of being put in the backpack in there with all these spots of light coming around it. It's going to be kind of interesting. And then just these her art stuff here, starting to just move over too far in the painting. I kept going, kind of leaning a little bit. We will see. We will see. Just get things in perspective and then go. Well, that one's wrong. I need to get it right here. So that kind of too big, maybe. That'd be okay. You know, maybe it's just too big. And that's all right. Because we were talking about, you know, putting a guy here. I have a guy here crossing the street with a big white Pyrenees dog here, and maybe getting him and putting him in here because I'm kind of taking away this chain thing. That's kind of this thing right here. I'm getting rid of that. So maybe putting a person in there.
Yeah, get rid of the phallic symbol and do something
Is that
else.
phallic? I was
It's
sure.
fairly.
Would you
It's
consider that? I just.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, I just, you know, if we could. And the street here, the shadow.
There's people eating down there, I see.
Yeah, back
mhm.
in here. But take
Yeah.
that shadow and use it to break, you know, tighten down this thing here and maybe put something there to keep keep this thing from the lines. I want to keep the people in the paint, things in the painting, the eye in the painting. So yeah. So this will help too. This is gonna just this box too. This box should line up here. I just really kind of just like the whole scene of this is Marcia here. You know, the way she was just getting into being very French. You know.
Did she paint that?
She did paint that. She was done pretty quickly.
She looks like she's now onto sketching.
Yes, now she's sketching afterwards and sitting back and seeing, you know, if anybody will buy it, you know.
For
So
€15.
Yeah,
Would come
you know,
by and buy the paintings? Oh.
yeah, people have. I'm right there, Kimba. Kim sold a $5 one.
No, come on. It gets worse every time you tell this story. It was 15. I said 15. He gave me 20.
Oh, okay. You know, that there you go. So she had her whole trip paid for off one painting. It was amazing. It was a great painting. It was a fun painting, and I'm glad that, you know, that was fun. Was that your first ever sale?
And probably first and only. No, that's not true. I have done a couple little commissions, but I don't ever really charge anybody.
That's all right. That's okay.
Yeah.
You know, you're getting good enough that you can though. So, not a doors in these arches, almost. So look, yeah, you guys can see it. You guys will see them. You know, this is probably just a little too high. So I'm gonna round these tops off, and they'll should fall back into the space here a little bit. I'll get rid of those, and we are good to go. The drawing part seemed like probably the toughest little area is laying this guy out.
It's a nice composition.
It is fun. It's fun.
And it's easy to look at, you know?
Yeah. Thank you. It just, it just struck me when I was walking around. I just saw her there, and I just got such a kick out of it because there she is. You know, she was really taking it in, and it was our first time there too. So to see somebody else who just, was enjoying it, she had her work done so quick. She picked the easiest thing to paint in the world, but hey, she was having fun. She was on her. That's her holiday party. Very fun. Okay, I'll clean up my oil and we'll get busy here. We're gonna do a lot of the dark colors. We're gonna go pretty quickly because we don't have that many darks. I don't want to get. I'm gonna put some darks in the back here, but the most of them are gonna be in the foreground. you know. But the back here, just like you got chalkboards, basically a couple of chalkboards, a window, some people, you know, pretty nondescript stuff, maybe in the middle things here. And we'll start with the blue and transparent oxide mix. And we'll see how far we can go with that. I'm going to thin that out and also do the back sidewalk too, if I can, when it gets farther down. I mean, when it gets a little thin. So I'm thinking this color, a little lighter, is going to be like all the shadows here. So I'm just going to go and get the same spot, bring it out a little bit. This one goes back just a little bit, but I was saying I was like this one. What I'm trying to do is get across the street here and block that street a little bit. And that could always just be like a shadow of a building. This will also help just help with the design a little bit. You know, get that design of the painting, you know, set in here nicely. A little higher on the doorways. Well, we'll look at it afterwards and see how it goes. Yeah, we should have bought this place. We should have bought that. Too late now. We're broke.
I sketch on a Wednesday with a guy who bought exactly this sort of place in Carcassonne, which is
Yeah.
not far from where we are. He goes every 6 weeks. He and his wife drive down with they've got a couple of dogs.
Uh-huh.
And he sits in this place and paints and puts the lights on, you know, and hangs a couple of things in the window. And he says everything I do on the weekend, people walk by and they're going, oh wow, he's in there. The artist is in. And he says, I sell everything.
Yeah.
It makes me think of that place. I just have that place in this little village in mind and him going down. He paints 5 or 6 things in the weekend, you know, and sells them all and stays for a couple of weeks. Next weekend does the same thing.
Wow.
And then comes back to London for a couple of weeks.
I love it.
There
I
you
know.
go.
Carcassonne is beautiful.
He says it is, yeah. He says it's stunning. I mean, it's obviously touristy, so this is why he's selling all this stuff.
Very great. You know, that castle's very nicely kept up. We took a trip there our first year.
Did you?
Afterwards, we stopped at Carcassonne for a day, and then went on to Barcelona. And it was It was really interesting. But I didn't see, it's kind of Walt Disney like, because that's where Disney got all his buildings and stuff from. Is Carcassonne, inside the castle there. It looks just like it. You know, all the leaning houses and backdrops. It's really cool. So this is just transparent oxide again with blue on the blue side. Just getting this stuff back in here. A little bit probably too dark, but we'll play with it.
Why did you choose on the blue side? Because
because I didn't want to go to the
brown.
right. I didn't want to go to the right color too early.
Right.
Because there wouldn't be anything for it to play with. It would just go in there and be flat.
Okay.
Where you have another color in here just gives it something to. It's not perfect right off the bat. So that's all I'm looking at. Because if I was doing this plein air, there's no time for it. You don't have as much time. You can probably go right for it. the color. But with us, I'd like to have some, putting this stuff underneath and then layering the color will just create a softness to the color and atmosphere that you just can't get with just by putting one color down and being right all the time.
No, I was just thinking, leaning it on the,
On
the
the-
burnt sienna side, yeah, as opposed to leaning it on the blue side.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, it will probably be laid there.
you're gonna end there, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll end there. But to get there, you can take a little bit of a scenic route.
Right, okay.
Like I said, we're just going to cut off her arms a little bit here, just trim them up. And that's back there. I probably take it off here. There we go. Trim that off. There we go. This one I am kind of going with the color. I mean, going for the darkness. There's going to be some reds and some other color going into this color, but the value, I'm going for value right now on this one. Just going, I don't know why. I'm just thinking value, because I got this color, I might as well do it, even if I was going to paint her shoes here. Again, look at that big old foot she has. And this thing is just the way I love the way this just tinkles down here. Almost like squares and blocks coming down, going down in here. It's really kind of cool. In her bag right here. Way too big. Way too big. If I put that in there, well, no. Okay. So I got the windows in over here. I'm going to put a little bit of just darkness even where the greens are going to go. Oh, sorry. Even where the guy's going to go. This guy, the only reason I'm talking about, this guy with the dog who's going to go in here probably. His wife came by, who is over here working the restaurant over here, came by and saw what we were doing. She saw I was painting this building here. And she thought it was hers and she was going to buy it for 100 euros. So after I finished, I took it in there to give it to the guy. And he didn't want it. He wouldn't take it. He didn't want he didn't pay me either, which was get the money up front. That's the whole thing. Get the money up front. If they really want to buy it, get the money up front and tell them you drop it off. Or else I don't want it now. So he didn't know she was buying it. And so she felt pretty sheepish when I walked out with it. He looked, I guess I should have said something to him. So, but she didn't. I probably should have took it to her first. Anyway, it was a good painting. It was fun. I don't know what happened to it. I was hoping Jill would have had it up in her house, I was hoping to get something up, in her gallery there. I haven't.
You're gonna have to paint. You're gonna have to paint that dog this year, Sky. Maybe he'll be a little bit more friendly.
Yeah.
Less shy.
We'll take a shot. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Then she'll hang it for sure.
The things we do to get seen. This color too. Since I'm just going to rub it in here at the bottom of the painting here a little bit, just to help flatten, like I said, to flatten out the gravel here a little bit. So this area will come up. So when because this is going to be very monotone, and going to be, so it might not do anything. So I guess getting a little, hedging your bed a little bit here, getting this darkness in here, the shadow, thinking about that kind of stuff in here early when the other colors mix. And what you might get, it should help create some weight here, that lightness there, that with this will flatten out. That's what I'm shooting for. Anyway, so that's the first color. Pretty good. Got a lot of stuff done. There is a lot of
The
work.
back of the chair.
Yeah, the back of the chair.
Thinking that's almost a star, no?
It's close. It's close. I kind of marked it. Okay.
Well, I don't know. I'm just asking.
Man,
It's just-
some people, maybe you should be painting.
I should be.
Okay.
Tired.
And this comes down a little bit, almost to her elbow too. So yeah. Okay, almost to her elbow, comes back a little bit, perspective wise. Okay, and then you got that negative area underneath here. Okay.
Looks like it's
Not
done
an
already.
easy one. What?
I said it looks like it's done already. It's already got perspective. It's, yeah.
We are working towards it really quickly, aren't we? That's the thing, is this one don't have that many colors. Okay. Now we're going to go on the brown side. A little bit more mid-tone. This one was gray, and it's probably, see, it will fit right in here too.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why I was saying back in here, if I wanted to get in here a little darker and warmer, will be great. And then we'll just, if we'll get a real nice color to finish those off, to push those.
It's like a watercolor effect.
Yeah.
A minute. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what gonna hopefully happen. And we won't. You'll get a little bit of play from that. So you got warms against cools. You got some in going out and twisting it. But keep everything down in here. Remember our focus. Focus. All right, here we go. That was it. That was just a little bit of that brown going in there, not much. And then if I got the real brown side here, let me see where that goes. I would probably say it's probably going to be in a lot of the chairs. This brown, I say brown, but it's light oxide and blue. But I didn't want to. I'm just going to mark the chairs again with it then. Didn't want to get into it too soon with this color because I got a lot to paint underneath here. And I didn't want to do what I'm doing. So that's okay. We'll make it work. Just touch them in. That'll be fun. It'll help you guys understand where I am too, I guess. So even though it's a little bit more work, you guys are worth it. I want you to know that. All right. Shoe should fit. Everything should fit pretty good. It's I probably, when I drew this out, it probably could have been a little more gestury, and might have been but I still think it would probably end up being, okay. It won't be too tight. I'm going to use this color, transparent oxide. This is again on the blue side, on the transparent side now, or I'm pretty much down the middle, and start to think about this value here, getting it in around the arches here a little bit. Gonna have that way. They'll have a lot. The next color, the color that really gonna be in here, will grab it a little bit, and won't be quite flat. We'll have some fun. Oh, into my coffee. Well, I see it's coffee color. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I'd go down to Carcassonne and do that, If you could sell every day. A lot of work. Okay. Like I said, this stuff, arch lines, not too many hard lines. Okay, anything else now, color-wise? Now we're into the greens here areas. Transparent oxide and phthalo green. This is what I say is the green side. Again, I'm just going to mix it in with the blue here. And I want to keep it very splotchy. I don't want to make anything of any sort yet.
You want to keep it very splashy or blotchy?
It's blotchy, splotchy, kind of both. I said splotchy, so splashy and blotchy together, right?
Gotcha.
Splotchy. Did he say splotchy? Yes, he did. He didn't know. His
So
English.
that's how you do
My
beige.
English isn't very good yet.
So that's how you do beige, is to make it green.
Yeah, I'm going to use green and brown. This
Okay.
is the green
This
side.
is the hardest color is making beige, I
Oh
swear.
yeah, I
I
would
hate
say
it.
get that at the very beginning. I want to see
Mm.
Yeah.
it does that
Oh.
because I just
So
it
yeah,
shouldn't be a color called beige. It's wrong.
yeah. So we're going to go with greens and reds mixed together. This and then oranges. And that's it. You could start to see it even with this mix
Mm.
that's in here. When I'm leaving it on the orange side, how well it works. And that's all that color. It's get across and just see that orange coming through that wet gravel or stuff. We do have that color mixed up better. But anyway, that's that spot. I want to see where else. This definitely, I was talking about going back in here into this tree a little bit more. Now I'm going to just see about laying it in over some of these colors. So I get a little bit of that color playing through. I hate going back in and doing all these little things here, but I want to, still kind of almost do this thing as a, if I was there, kind of a plein air feel to it. So it's kind of going to stay very loose. I do want to bring that green up just one more spot here up to here, let's say. There's a couple darker spots right there. It would be nice to kind of shoot in here, keep us from going out too much. So a lot of little limestone pieces here. So finding that's always on the green side too. So this color just toned down will get really close to what you need for limestone. Let's soften these guys up, lose the edges a little bit more, and we'll find them on the back side. I want to get up here a little bit too. Always something else, Just get it in here. Then that way, if you missed a spot, this should work out pretty well.
Huh.
All right. We're starting to set it.
Yeah.
Start to know where things are really pretty quickly. Okay. The next colors are just more on the brown side. This is transparent oxide and green. Wow, we got rid of our phallic symbol. So that's what I was making this whole color for. So now you might just kind of, I could see it a little bit into the shadows. Usually on the sunnier side, you can find a little more warmth. So this color, if you're looking for, need to put something in here. Yeah, she has her bag right here. Who knows? That's just going to be a few markings. I'm not going to, it's not a impotent thing. But if you have shadows like under bags or under this your tabaret here, that's going to have a little bit more warmth in it, in that ground right there. That's about it for that. I mean, I'm just going to tone a little bit here, just to. I should have put our pants on. I didn't. Should have put those on. Let me put those on. I'm gonna go back to the blue and brown oxide, light oxide here, just to help me out. Just to help me fill these areas in. It has to come down here. That might go up. This might go up a little higher. I'm gonna make some big shoes and I'll cut them off here. Other one coming down in here. Oops. All right. Did I make a mess or did I make a mess? Clean my brush out a little bit. I'm just going to put in a couple skin tone. I'm going to put in kind of on the dark side too. This is a alizarin and ochre on the alizarin side. This is just barely any white in it. Just thinking about a little bit of the shadows coming in here, just a little bit more up here. And her wrist here. Those flat areas. And then shadow area. Doesn't go. Especially when you come around like a forearm and stuff, you're gonna have a light side and a dark side, two light sides and a dark. The dark's gonna be in the middle because it kind of pulls everything forward. But you have that little bit of light showing through there. Okay. And then her chin. I didn't even paint her chin in the other one. I mean, draw it in, but that would be right in there, that area. Not quite that big, but teeny chin. Oh, her pulp. This color is almost perfect anyway. Doesn't have to be too much more than this. Hat. No, let's not do the hat yet. Okay, we're gonna go to the mid-tone colors now and fill those guys in. Just the way we started. This is blue and transparent oxide on the blue side. Or he's going to start bringing it down in the cement areas, then the cooler shadow areas. Yeah, I already had put that blue, the same tone, darker in here. So this is just biting into it a little bit. That's about it. I mean, I can. This stuff back in here. Definitely gets a little grayer. It kind of worked. Oh. I filled that. Sorry, just talking to myself, going, oh, put that window. I thought I had that window in here, but didn't take it all the way up. I'll put it in now. Okay. Put a little gray on the shadow side of that building, just to reinforce the shadow so that there is some depth going back. That it's always good to do that. And being on the cool side is always great. Another planter, more planters. Okay. Coming forward, definitely this color could start to get into. I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to go to just the middle tone of this, just a little bit more oxide in it, because that's basically color of her pants. And I got the dark in there, so I'm just going to paint the creases of the pants a little bit into the dark and just kind of leave it. Probably could have went just a little stronger on the creases. I mean, on the dark, but when you do that on the dark side, just a little darker. Or I get those creases in there. I missed this one right up here by her book. The shadow under here, the book right there. And the tip of her knee should have just been right there too. There we go. And then the cuffs, right in the side of the cuffs, I probably could get those too. That I'm going to keep with that same color now on the dark here, just for the highlights of her apron here. I'm going to try and hit spot there and just leave it. Probably could go. I'm probably going to end up. That's too dark. Now I put it in there. I'm going to look at it. Okay, yeah, mostly too dark. Probably going to have to go one more shade valued later, which is okay. Good, good, good. All right. I just got her in there. Oh, let me see about putting in the back of this thing a little bit. Should be on the green side. That's just a little cool. So it's transparent in green on that thing. Yeah, it's almost perfect. Trying to let some of that dark on the outside do their job. Oh, I did paint her pants too on the back end. That's the thing about people. You put people in here, use things. And it shows it right up there too. Okay. This is the lighter version too. That might be better to come back in here with. Yeah, definitely could use just a little bit smaller brush. But before we get there, smaller brush, let's do some, let's, yeah, well, let's see if we can get a little bit of the building done here. This color. These are just transparent oxide and blue. This is on the brown side. Pretty much the value wise, really just a hair too dark. And I got just a little bit more undertone to it. Get the arch color in here. Separation and a few marks back in here. Wipe my brush over here. Edges, you know, keeping that dark coming down a little bit too. Keeping people in painting this, because this, when we put in this light here, let me see if this is it. When we come back in with this, well, this is perfect for over here. This might be a little darky. This is transparent oxide and green on
the green side.
yeah, slightly on the green side yet. It doesn't take much for it to be like I was saying about being on the green side on that color. So this is on the brown side, which is basically no brown, no green. And that's really kind of nice. So this is what we're gonna do pretty much all this stuff with. So getting it in over here is going to be nice. This product value is just hair value too dark. Just a hair too dark. That's okay. That's the fun part. Lightening it up and not doing everything. You know, this is perfect for some of the building structure back in here behind in the greens. You know, I like that. Okay, I'm going to go to a big bristle brush now. I'm going to be kind of big bristle brush too.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going to paint the whole shadow in here.
In one stroke.
Yeah, in one stroke.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah, he's
You
not
guys know
picking
me
that brush up.
Way too much. But this is going to be using that medley of transparent oxide and green values, you know, from the green side to the even in the middle side to the red side of those colors. So we're going to start off the green side. These are probably I think we came down to 4.
These are when you say green, this is phthalo green you've got mixed in there.
Yeah, phthalo green.
Yeah.
Yeah. Phthalo green and oxide red.
Wow.
And that coolness is perfect right there. That
exactly
could be done. And I expect to do a ton more work there. So, but that's just because I laid the colors in underneath here a little bit. And this is the cool. This is the dark version. Okay, this is what I want to do is just work it in, hacking it together and let it be. And we're just going to keep this color up here. This is the green. Oh, I can't believe this. Because I was really going to thinking, I'm going to have to add blue to it. And it's that almost perfect.
Here I was thinking you were going to put alizarin in this.
Oh, yeah. Alizarin somewhere in there, right? I didn't even
That was in her arm.
It's in my drawer. I'm not bringing it out on this one.
No, there was no alizarin in any of your mixes? Wow.
No.
In her arm.
Very simple.
Wow.
Very simple mixes. Oh, I didn't. This color might even get over here. Over here, I think it transforms a little warmer. Right. But that's where I wanted to use a bristle brush. This is the perfect mix of the two together. But it doesn't show till I get some of the green off my big brush. It's still, that green was still showing through here. It's mixing. It looks like the same color. Okay. Just get a little, I'm gonna really just get some oil on it, clean it out. Come back and grab it again. Maybe push a little bit more of the red into it. Okay, I'm good. See, this is what I was looking for right there. Okay. All right. Maybe I just went a little too light with the reds and stuff. That's the darker. Now it's too back white a little bit, back it in. At least I got it off my brush. But it's the marrying of these two colors, the warm and the cool side, that just will make this gravel. You know, I know they put a lot of purples into the shadows too, the impressionists, really pushing the colors and stuff. So, but this one's just a little different. It's just I feel I can see the warmth of the green in this thing. No, there you go, quite there. And we're just going to tone these one spots down. And they should start to, everything should start behaving a little bit. You see my strokes. I'm not putting them in the same way twice usually. Even when I'm moving the brush, I'm turning it. Okay. That's your midtones right there. All right. That's beautiful. Yeah, I could definitely come back with some little more. This is that, like I said, that phthalo green. Like just when it comes in here, sometimes it just cools off, grays out pretty nice. This is what I was thinking I was gonna put in. This is the blue, transparent oxide and blue on the blue side. This is going to be basically back in here anyway, so I'll keep it with the cement colors so we don't get, create too many visual questions here about this. Well, it's space. So this is just blue mix, more on the way on the blue side for the shadows of this thing on the cement. Again, now I'm playing with a bristle brush. It's just doesn't go in quite as evenly. I'm going to work this a little bit to this blue. This is into the street. Oops, getting a little brown in there left over from my other colors, which is fine. But I'm going to work this color into the street a little bit so it's not so barren when I get there. And I can start to shape her hat a little bit too, a little bit. Everything around the paint box, just decided to make it hard instead of just painting the box in afterwards. But that's the way things go. I'm going to keep it on the brown warm side. Maybe over here, I'll just keep it on the browner side because it's just little bit warm, so I don't want to have it going all the way across being the exact same. So those are midtones. That's a, and I'll look at these colors. This, oh wow, that's almost perfect for this. I knew it would be. I knew it would be perfect. But these lights are going to start coming in. I'm going to take and paint her hat with a few colors. I'm going to have to shoot to a synthetic real quick for that. I want to get the darkness back in there. So I'm going to go back to transparent oxide and phthalo green and mix up both of them together. Trying to get the darkness back of the shadow in the inner hat here. And then maybe just checking the size out. A little bit wider. Okay. Ah, that feels better. That feels pretty good.
That's nice.
Yeah. And then put in the shadows, even though maybe I'll put the shadows in the green, on the green side here. I mean, I'll put the top head in there, but the rest in here have a green tinge to it, a little bit more green on the brim of the hat. The great thing about sun hats like this, you know, you can miss them by a mile. I mean, you can make them huge and you still be in a good spot with them. They just grab so much attention. So, okay, I'm going to bring that color down a little bit just to tone her shoulders. She's wearing a shirt that is, of course, a lot of beige in it. In her painting too, I'm going to beige up her painting. Her poor painting is probably only going to be like 3 or 4 strokes of color. You know, making sure it's, you know, even though making sure it's still is in there squarely is kind of nice to make sure that it's kind of even all the way around around the frame here of that painting. Probably a little more angle to this box too, just a little more angle to it. I kind of missed that right here. Well, that's always easy. This is where you catch that stuff, is when you mean it. Okay, so that's her hat based in there. Basically, it just needs the midtones put in and a highlight. We're getting there. Okay. Back in here, does this need anything? I will have to sit and probably spend a little bit of time, but not too much, hopefully, to define those things. Oh, I know. I want to get the insides of these buildings with that color too. Which one is it? This is, let me see. This is could be a little cooler. So a little bit, maybe that on maybe this. Yeah, maybe this. Maybe a little bit more brown in it. So this is be on the blue side, a little cooler, transparent oxide and brown and blue. And this would be basically on the really transparent side of it, transparent oxides of it. So it's just a little warmer. All right. Might have to go lighter yet too. Shoot. I was trying to get these done, be perfect on this stuff, hit it right now and not have to come back and do one more lightness. But I'm thinking maybe if I could use the canvas a little bit, you know, lightness of the canvas, my stroke not be so too heavy. I could probably get it and maybe just, this will give you age to the paint of these walls pretty easily without going in and painting every brick or any all the other stuff. This will just keep it all inside, keep it consistent. Again, consistency of finding where everything is too. All right. We'll leave it there. I probably could go just a hair lighter. Probably should have went with, well, let's see. It almost feels too light. Let's go. Hmm. A hair lighter than that. That is transparent oxide with on the green side with green. Again, phthalo side. And just stroking it in there, just giving it a little more light.
Oh,
Bring that archway a little bit. See where it goes back here. People, I want to know exactly what they're eating too. We gotta have that. Okay, no, we don't.
can you do a flat crepe?
Oh, yeah. There. That's what you guys did. Yeah, that's a good idea. Just a nice little flat
A
crepe.
little slash in there.
Yeah, little pancake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, since I have this beautiful rosemary synthetic, on my hands here, I'm going to put in the book. I just want to put in the edge of this book here before I put in the street. And just get that one edge.
Oh,
One beautiful. That's what these things are so beautiful for, I tell you. This the one great stroke. When you need to clean up, these areas here and stuff. Boy, that's gonna be nice. Okay. Painting is just working itself. Time wise, we should have about 20 minutes left. Half an hour left. All right.
I have to go soon, so do something spectacular right away.
Okay.
Okay.
No pressure. No pressure. No pressure, but do something really good, okay? Okay. Okay. No problem. We are moving towards the light stuff, and I want to do this stuff. So I just need to get a few more reds, I think, before I get spectacular worked in here. Again, now I'm going with a bristle brush. I'm gonna come back in with a bristle brush. I did a lot of that stuff with synthetics, so wait, no, over here I did use a big bristle. I used my big bristle over here, but this is a smaller one, and I can get in here and get a little bit tighter around these where the feet are gonna go and things like that. Like where this tabaret color here is going to go back in here. Definitely don't want lines though. Don't want lines. But I could see just a patch of warmth right in here up against her. Oh, I got to get that angle of that leg right. A little bit more like that. Okay. I'll put in some of this stuff. It's not, and then I'm going to leave it loosey goosey. course. Okay, let's go to the midtones, the final lighter sections of these things. Bring in the light on this side here. I'm going to go down here and go to, this is transparent oxide with just a little bit of green in it, mostly transparent oxide, tons of white, you know, and I'm going to start right in here. And while this is where you have to just put it in and leave it. You don't get too many chances. You know, you put it in here and you leave it. This is right down the middle, almost a little green tinge to it because it's mixing up a little bit. Now as it mixes, I'm going to work my way down the painting a little bit as this color mixes and catch a few of the spots here. I want this to kind of follow what it's doing. There's a couple really, find those really kind of big area spots there. A couple here. What this is going to do is pull us around the painting too. So, I'm just putting these guys in. They need to be a little warmer than this. It should be way more on the transparent side. And that's even too light. So good. I'm going to go back to the midtone. That's about right.
That's it.
That's it. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that looks it.
This is, yeah. And then I'll hit the big spots for you. And they'll start becoming really good dapple light. That's the thing is, even on these guys are wrong. They need to be a little warmer. But now don't get too bright. You can always get if nothing else, if you go for the even go a little darker than you think it's going to go. And then come back and lighten it up if you need to. Lighten it up. Usually is going to be more in the center of the spots.
Yeah.
You know, in these areas, you can bring in some light, but not the outsides. Keep the outsides darker and you'll be good. So this is number 4 or 5 here. Coming in here. That's a little too perfect for that. Gonna have to go a little lighter for these outside spots as we get back in here. And we'll just let the brush do the work. Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's only going to be a few spots. That's all it should have to be. Yeah, there's some really warmth coming right over here, and that's almost skin tone.
Well, that was spectacular enough. Thank you, Jim.
You
And
like it? Was it good?
next
Was
week.
it good for you? Thank you.
Yeah, it was great. It was really fun.
All right, thank you. We would just keep going from there, though, but and try to make some more happiness. Anything around in this part here, there's really not much going on here, so it's really good placement for that French easel she has. I'm going to look for that same color I kind of put here. I'm going to look for it on these colors. This is transparent oxide in green. This is right down the middle with white to a 3. That goes right here on this building. Start with the brightest spots on that building, right? Get those guys in and then work it a little bit, and by the time you should get the full range of that color pretty easily now. And you just need to push a little bit, and you're going to get a lot of good transparency. And nice stuff. Okay. A little bit more of that now. A little warmer. Yeah. So this is closer to almost pure transparent oxide with white. Just a hair of green in it for this building across this taupey kind of building over here. There are some nice warm yellow spots in that color. You know, that could be very nice to put in also with a knife. If you wanted, you know, might go in real nice with a knife.
What happens if you ran the knife across all that gravel now that you've put in and kind of
If I was going to do that, I'd be using the flat,
yeah, that's what I mean.
and you could,
Like the texture of the canvas makes it look a little bit like gravel.
yeah, you could definitely get a little bit of that going in here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do too much, but a little bit. And then I'm going to put in that box, and then I'm going to come back and put it in straight. This is the hardest part. So not the hardest, everything's the hardest part for me. Maybe most of this is transparent oxide I'm going to be using here. A little lighter than that, a little more white, maybe a touch of yellow. Get the outside of that box. Too far, too far. Yes, I could have made her painting bigger and everything too. You know, made her. I probably will have to kind of think about keeping it kind of impressive somehow. So we'll have to paint that painting a little bit for her. Okay. Transparent oxide and green on the probably a lot on the transparent side for when you get these areas here. Synthetic, a brand new synthetic. You should be able to pull those perfectly down. Three-legged, of course. That should have went right through her foot. So I probably moved this guy over a little bit too much. Anyway,
How dark are you going to make those?
I don't know. A little bit darker, a little bit darker.
Yeah,
but,
okay.
but not. Well, right now I'm going to put in the light around him, and that'll probably be it for the day.
Right.
This is transparent oxide and blue on. This is pretty much all the way right down the middle. This is a gray right down the middle of the two colors. So you sort of see it. Definitely want to just go just a hair brighter, more white. Maybe this I got to go. This one's a lot brighter. Yeah, that one's a lot brighter.
Oh.
Let's work it in a little bit. Okay. Bring it back a little bit. You can always darken up these guys and fatten them up. I'm doing the hard thing right here. This is, it would have been easy to just paint through this box and go through here. But sometimes it's these marks you get here that are more interesting. That's a little, boy, I was trying to get that, thinking even in these spots, I was thinking about, air holes that these guys are going to have to be slightly darker than that because of, the contrast of the legs. So I tried to take that into consideration, and it kind of didn't work. So now we're going to come back in here and just get a little, I'm going to lighten it up probably closer towards us. This edge of the street being a little lighter than the back edge. So it comes forward. So that's just more transparent oxide with white, a little warmth at the same value. I might have to come over here now and do this too, because this has to come up, and like I'm looking at it, boy, it might have to come up a way farther. I might even go. And it's okay to, if I have to add white, or add light to it, keep adding light. Get it lighter, just as long as you got to get it to the right value at the end. Yeah, that value is almost 2 degrees too dark, too light, or too dark. So I'm going to add just a little more white to my color. I just want to get the right value for you guys. Right. Jump off. We have to jump off here. I'm just going to just keep feeding light in here. And I'm going to add just a warmth too. I'm going to go. Wow. And then over here, just gonna let it mix. It doesn't have to be quite as bright at the edge, but right in here, it needs right against her. Well, I might even go switch over and do transparent oxide with green. Right in there.
Naples yellow.
Naples yellow. Yeah, we could always do that. You know, cheat. But this also can be right here against some of these outside limestone spots
It's good.
coming in. There's a few of them going to come in here. That's almost too bright, almost, but right dancing right around the outside edges here. So it staggers a little bit with that transparent. That'll do it. That'll look really good. That's going to be end up being, there we go, a little bit brighter. Good. It's too bright. Touch it one more time. Push it back into space. It'll go back pretty nice. Boy, a lot to paint on this one left. I feel sorry for you guys.
This would have been a 2-weeker.
This, I would have, could have easily done. I would have done it just probably slightly different. I would have probably concentrated on her and the things, but some of these things I just want to get in together, like the street here and stuff, because I think they.
It looks really good already.
Oh, you're too nice. Thank you. But we will clean it up and.
So let me
finish
ask you, are you gonna fix those arches and make them more perfectly?
Yeah, there are, I'm going to use the details of the arch, like the that kind of stuff, the outside things here to kind of even them up.
Right.
But a lot of that stuff I kind of would like probably be in front of it a little bit more.
Okay, just wondering how much, because it could stay the way it is, but it could also, this is my dilemma, which is how
it does not deserve the same amount of love as this area. It should be a second idea. It shouldn't be so far. So, and then we'll just tighten up a little bit, throw in some things, keep it a little loose, but then it will tighten up on her just as we come in and stuff. So I'll bring it in. You guys can see a little bit more of her. See, as you can see, a long ways to go on her. And the street, so street is just a little cool. It needs a little warmth, it feels like, to it.
Yeah.
And the arches, they'll come just one more stroke. People back there, I gotta probably get them in the right push down a little bit, but at least this area down in here is fun, and that's the thing is, these guys, I got the spots marked out. Just the insides of those spots need a little bit more warmth here and there. Not all of them. Just you want to just do the main ones. You see here the bigger ones. Those guys are going to get a little more light. And
the other table's going to go in still again.
Yeah, and the other table got to go in yet too.
Right.
I didn't put it. Yeah, I'm painting right through it. Which it's like nothing more than a stroke or so. So all we have is Sarah here painted with us today. And poor Sarah's going, I don't want to show. This is crazy.
This is a tough one, and I have some drawing issues, so I apologize. But, yeah.
Oh, that's okay. I look at mine. Mine does too. It's
Mhm.
at this stage. Uh, it's. Oh,
Oh, wow. Yeah.
you got a lot done. Wow, congrats.
Thank you.
Good. Yeah, yeah. You got a, okay, you got even in the dappled light, you did really well. You don't go anymore. You don't even have to do any more light, more strokes there. You probably just have to warm those up.
Okay.
Your arches are good back there. Did you start off with this? You had to draw it all in too?
I redrew the person about 3 times. So,
Oh, geez. See,
yeah.
that's the thing about people, and you never get them right. They take
Mhm.
forever. Yeah. Um, that's why this one, at least we don't have to paint a face.
Mhm. Mhm.
But your markings are good. Yeah, we're gonna bring in a little bit more warmth into the stones down there, the gravel
Yep.
area, and yeah, that's for an hour and a half of painting, you got it blocked in.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing. It's you got it drawn in and blocked in.
Mhm.
That's congrats. That's really good. You got some. Even you see where you put in the quick light of in that corner.
Mhm.
That you can tell that's the kind of stuff aggressiveness you need, because that tells you everybody that you are in full control of your paints and everything else. When you can put it in like that and make it feel boom,
Cool.
it really holds that spot down. Very nice.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
So good strokes.
Thank
And
you.
the design's really working. I mean, yeah, that dappled light turns that painting around.
Mhm.
Good job.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, the people is always going to be a lot of work. So I
Mhm.
don't plan, you're going to be there for a while. So, um, yeah, I will work on mine, finish it up next week. Yeah, like I said, next week we could do a 2-week one. Yeah, I don't want it to be too much more. We did really well on that one with the horse and the 2 dogs and the lady. The background was nothing, right? We did a really simple background, so that helps sometimes. So I will look for something in that vein, um, that we can paint 2 weeks, where we spend the time on the person in 1 week, and maybe the background and pulling the person together on the second week. So we will see. We will see. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, happy Easter, guys.
Yes. Happy Easter. Yeah.
Yeah. Hope you guys don't have too much cooking to do and things like that.
Easy.
So
Easy peasy.
I know we're just going out. Anyway, so we will see you guys all next week for another one. And like I said, I'll try to start thinking about that being a 2-week one. So finish this one. This one probably could have been 2 weeks, yeah. But since no one showed up for it, we can't do that. Anyway, we will see you guys all next week. Happy Easter, and have a good week.
Happy Easter.
Bye.
Bye.